Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm Ben from Starlight Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Samsung DV80K6010CW Tumble Dryer. That's this thing. Before we get started, let's have a quick product overview. Okay, so there's a very quick product overview for you, just so you can have a look around the tumble dryer. Let's start with the features itself. So aesthetically, it's a really pleasing machine. Now, even as an avid Apple fan, when it comes to Samsungs, I've got to admit, I really like the look of it. It's aesthetically pleasing. It's got sleek and contemporary modern looks. I like all the finishes, the shiny plastic, the piano black features, and the way that they've matched the drum door to the mode selection button here. Also got a nice blue LED screen, which I'll turn on in just a second, and you've got the condenser drawer, so that's where the wastewater collects. And we'll start with there. So every 3 or 4 cycles the water fills up the wastewater, and you just need to pull this out. Comes out nice and simple, and empty it, and it just slides back in. You can see just on the front there's the indicator to let you know when it needs emptying, but also on the LED screen you also get an indicator as well. Moving along then, you've got the mode selection button, and this is just a kind of a swivel button that selects the mode, whether or not it's cotton, synthetics, and the different types of dry settings that you want. Now, having only used a kind of simple tumble dryer before this one, where it had 2 modes, and that was 2 heat settings, high and low, this one's got a lot more. It's a bit more complex, but actually when it comes to it, and from my experience of using it this last week, I found it really beneficial. The cupboard dry setting I use for anything that's going to go in a drawer in the cupboard, and you can select it by whether it's cotton or synthetics. An iron dry. I've never had an iron dry setting before, but actually when it comes to the delicate kind of shirts and things like that I don't want to shrink, but I still want to get dry, I've used the iron setting, and it brings them out just a little bit damp, enough so that when you run an iron over them, it gets rid of the creases and they're dry instantly, which is brilliant. Some of the other settings then are more to do with the material that you're drying, and also some of the, if you want to use it for other things like trainers and delicates and things like that. So there's plenty of options to select there, and the user manual is really comprehensive when it comes to telling you which setting to use and what not to use, because one of the settings you can't use, or it's not recommended that you put jeans in. So all this time I've been washing my jeans wrong. Hadn't known about that. Okay, so just on here you've got the LED screen, which gives you all your indicators, and also these 5 soft touch buttons. Now, although they look hard buttons, they're not. They're just completely soft to touch, so you only have to breeze over them. You've also got a further 2 here, just to the right hand side, and I'll go through the features in just a minute. You've also got these 2 hard buttons, which is just the on and off, and also the stop and pause button, so they're nice and easy to operate. Okay, so let's have a look at the operation of the machine then. So switch it on using one of the hard buttons. It gives this nice little alert tone, let you know it's turned on. On the bottom row of buttons then, you've got different settings. So you've got wrinkle prevent, which you can turn on and off. You can set your dryness levels between 1 and 3. So sometimes when I use it with a bigger load, I just set it to 3, or if I want it really dry, then go to 3. But it's normally set to level 2 as standard. You can also change the times, but when you change the dryness settings, it adjusts the times accordingly anyway. So you've also got the mixed load bell, which you can switch on, and I'll tell you more about that a bit later. You've also got the lamp, which I mentioned just inside the drum here. Just at the top inside, you've got a white light LED lamp, and that's quite handy for when you want to have a look at the load. It does automatically switch off, but you can just click it back on there, and you can see the load, and that also works whilst it's in operation as well, so that's perfect. So I can set now, I'm going to set this to cotton dry cupboard because it's a delicate bit of clothing, and then simply just hit the start. You can see the light's still on there, and it gives you the time in 2.5 hours. Now it says 2.5 hours there, but actually it's the heat sensor that continuously monitors the load, so that once you get to the dryness level that you've selected, then it will automatically stop. So once that's on, then it will continue to just kind of readjust and reevaluate the load, and then it will just cut off whenever it needs to. So it's got an 8 kilogram capacity for the drum, which is perfect whether you've got a small family or a large family. 8 kilos is more than enough. I don't think I've ever filled it with anywhere near 8 kilograms, but certainly the capacity is there if you want it. So one of the other design features which I quite like is the ability to automatically dump the wastewater. Now you get supplied this grey water hose, so this connects to the back of the machine and then the other end to your wastewater out pipe, similar to a dishwasher or washing machine, and it will automatically dump the water out of there rather than having to empty the drawer. Another thing to mention is the door itself. It's an ergonomic handle, so pulling the door open, which opens left to right. So with my washing machine, it works perfectly because that's a left-hand opening. So when it comes to swapping the laundry into the other, then it works perfect. It's actually something I didn't consider when I was looking at it, but actually it's a valid point. So if you use them left to right, then or next to washing machines, then it's good little feature to have. Also, you can stack them. So if you get two stackable machines, then this can be paired. And just on the back, there's the space for the bracket as well. So that's another handy feature. If you don't use them side by side, you can use them on top of each other. Just at the front, then, inside, you can see the filter. And with that, it's just a case of opening that up, taking out the filter fluff, shutting that, and that fits back in there, ready to go. So one of the other features that's worth a mention is the compatibility with the Samsung Smart Washer app. Now this is available to download from both iOS and Android app stores, and although it doesn't control the washer, what it does do is very clever. So if you ever have a fault with the machine, you just have to press these two buttons simultaneously for 3 seconds, and it brings up this menu here. And it then gives a display like that, and what you do is you use your camera in the app on your device, and you scan this symbol, and that gives you a fault code and an explanation of what the fault is and some of the symptoms and how you can remedy it. So if you ever have a problem with the machine, it's nice and easy just to scan this, and you instantly get your answer of what the fault is and how to fix it. So it saves calling out an engineer, which can cost money and time. You can potentially fix it yourself. So let's have a quick look at the statistics for this machine. So it works at a 65 decibel noise level, which in terms of most tumble dryers is actually statistically lower. So you don't have a lot of excess noise coming from it, which is perfect. It's also got an A++ rating, which is one step down from the highest energy efficiency rating that there is. That ranges from D all the way through to A+++. So in terms of energy efficiency, it's perfect, and also coupled that with the heat sensor, so it cuts off once it has got to the optimum dryness level that you've set. So it will stop the machine there, which is perfect because my old machine just used to carry on until the timer ran out or I stopped it. So overall then, I'm going to give this a 5-star review. From an aesthetics point of view, I really like the way that it looks, the sleek and contemporary designs that Samsung have employed, and the design of this tumble dryer is really pleasing. Couple that with the amazing features, obviously it's a condenser dryer, but you can hook it up to the water outlet pipe, and also the many selectable options that you've got, increased functionality, and also the ease of fault finding using the app, which I explained earlier. Couple that with some of the nice little subtle features like the tones, the alerts and things like that. It's a really nice tumble dryer, and it has completely changed the way that I do my laundry from now on.